Imagine a time when the mighty kingdom of Israel, once united under the rule of Kings David and Solomon, was torn asunder, leaving 10 of its tribes lost to history. These tribes, scattered across distant lands, continue to emerge from obscurity in ways that astonish and intrigue us. The 12 tribes of Israel are the foundation of biblical history, yet the mystery surrounding the fate of the 10 lost tribes remains one of the most compelling and enigmatic stories of Scripture. Where did they disappear to? Do they still endure, hidden from view? And what role do they play in the divine prophecies of the end times? The Scriptures speak of how God selected these tribes for a special calling, yet their rebellion and sin led to their scattering across the farthest corners of the earth. Today, communities from Ethiopia to India, from Asia to the Americas, claim to be the descendants of these long-lost tribes. Could the return of these scattered descendants mark the fulfillment of ancient prophecies? And what might this signify for the final chapter of human history? In this exploration, we will trace the biblical origins of the 12 tribes of Israel, delve into how 10 of them vanished, and examine the claims of modern-day groups who assert they are their descendants. Above all, we will seek to understand the prophetic importance of their return in the last days. Through the sacred stories of the Bible, we will journey through time, witnessing how these ancient prophecies continue to unfold in our age. The roots of the 12 tribes of Israel lie with Jacob, grandson of Abraham, who fathered 12 sons. At a pivotal moment in his life, Jacob wrestled with God and was renamed Israel, meaning one who struggles with God. His 12 sons became the patriarchs of the 12 tribes, each inheriting a distinct portion of the Promised Land. These sons were Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, whose sons Ephraim and Manasseh each received an inheritance of their own, and Benjamin. Together, these tribes formed the nation of Israel. The tribes of Judah and Benjamin settled in the southern kingdom, while the remaining 10 tribes formed the northern kingdom, under the leadership of Ephraim and Manasseh. As Jacob prophesied in Genesis 49, each tribe carried its own unique destiny. However, it was their rebellion against God that led to their scattering, resulting in their eventual disappearance from the historical record. Following King Solomon's reign, the once united kingdom of Israel split in two. The southern kingdom, called Judah, was primarily composed of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin. The northern kingdom, known as Israel, consisted of the other 10 tribes: Reuben, Simeon, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Ephraim, and Manasseh. Sadly, the northern kingdom quickly succumbed to idolatry and rebellion against God. Despite the urgent warnings of prophets like Hosea and Amos, the people continued to spurn God's covenant. In 722 BC, God's judgment fell upon them, brought forth by the Assyrian Empire. The Assyrians invaded the northern kingdom, carried its people into captivity, and scattered them across the vast Assyrian lands. The Assyrian king deported the people of Israel to Assyria, settling them in locations such as Halal, Goan on the Habur River, and the towns of the Medes, as described in 2 Kings 17:6. These 10 tribes, dispersed across the empire, gradually lost their distinct identity, earning the name the Lost Tribes of Israel. But are they truly lost, or is it that their time to be revealed has simply not yet come? The disappearance of the 10 lost tribes is among the most intriguing enigmas of biblical history. Though their identity gradually faded into obscurity, the Bible and Jewish tradition hint that the tribes are not truly gone. They have been dispersed among the nations, awaiting the prophetic moment of their return. Throughout the centuries, many groups worldwide have claimed descent from these tribes, holding to ancient Jewish customs, traditions, and beliefs, despite their isolation from the Jewish people. Some have gained prominence in the modern world, while others remain hidden, yet all assert a direct link to the lost tribes of Israel. Let us now examine some of the most significant groups that believe themselves to be descendants of these lost tribes. One of the most well-known among them is the Beta Israel, the Ethiopian Jews, who trace their ancestry to the tribe of Dan. The Beta Israel have lived in Ethiopia for millennia, preserving Jewish practices that set them apart from other African communities. They observe the Sabbath, practice circumcision, maintain kosher dietary laws, and celebrate Jewish festivals, even amid centuries of separation from the broader Jewish world. These ancient traditions serve as a powerful testament to their enduring connection to the tribes of Israel, and their presence is a reminder of the remarkable ways in which God's promises can endure through generations, even in the face of exile and dispersion. Could these people and others like them be the living proof of the fulfillment of God's promises, signaling the return of the lost tribes of Israel in the final days? The journey to uncover the true identity of the lost tribes is a journey into prophecy, history, and the heart of God's plan for His people. The Ethiopian Jewish community, known as the Beta Israel, has long held the belief that they are descendants of the lost tribe of Dan, one of the 10 northern tribes exiled by the Assyrians. Their oral traditions recount a migration from Israel to Ethiopia, passing through Egypt, where they established a community that has remained largely isolated, yet steadfast in its Israelite heritage. Their claim to this ancestry is supported by their religious practices, which reflect those of ancient Israel, as well as their unwavering commitment to the Jewish faith. In the modern era, the Jewish world officially recognized their connection when Israel's rabbinate acknowledged the Beta Israel as part of the Jewish people. In the late 20th century, this recognition reached its zenith with the airlifting of tens of thousands of Ethiopian Jews to Israel during operations such as Moses, 1984, and Solomon, 1991. This momentous event echoed the ancient prophecies regarding the return of Israel's exiles. The Beta Israel's link to the tribe of Dan continues to be a captivating part of the lost tribes narrative, and their return to Israel is seen by many as a tangible fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Meanwhile, in India, the Bene Israel community claims descent from the tribe of Ephraim. Located primarily in the western regions of the country, the Bene Israel's oral traditions recount the story of their ancestors, who were shipwrecked on the Indian coast, possibly during the Assyrian exile, and founded a small Jewish community. Despite centuries of isolation from the larger Jewish world, the Bene Israel preserved key Jewish customs, such as observing the Sabbath, practicing circumcision, and adhering to dietary laws. Remarkably, these traditions closely resemble those of mainstream Judaism, and the Bene Israel's claim of descent from Ephraim has gained significant attention in the Jewish world. In recent decades, many members of the Bene Israel community have immigrated to Israel, adding to the country's vibrant and diverse Jewish population, and further deepening the connection to the fulfillment of the prophecy of the lost tribes' return. The Pashtun people, who reside in Afghanistan and Pakistan, also assert their descent from the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, the sons of Joseph. Their ancient customs, many of which closely resemble those of the Israelites, provide compelling support for this claim. The Pashtuns practice circumcision on the 8th day, refrain from eating pork, and observe other laws akin to those of ancient Israel. More striking still, their oral tradition has long referred to them as the Bani Israel, children of Israel, and their history is replete with stories connecting their ancestors to the northern kingdom of Israel. Some Pashtun tribes even carry names that closely mirror those of Israelite tribes, such as Ani and Lay. While scholars remain divided on the veracity of these claims, the persistence of these traditions speaks to their significance. The large population of Pashtuns, numbering in the tens of millions, raises the possibility that they too could be part of the broader regathering of Israel, a key theme in end-time prophecies. In Nigeria, the Igbo people have long claimed descent from the tribes of Gad and Zebulun. Their cultural traditions, which include a circumcision, dietary restrictions, and the observance of certain religious festivals, align closely with Jewish practices. Many Igbo believe their ancestors were among the lost tribes scattered during the Assyrian conquest. Although their claims have yet to be widely accepted by the broader Jewish community, there is growing interest in the Igbo's possible connection to ancient Israel. In recent years, many members of the Igbo community have formally converted to Judaism, and some have emigrated to Israel, seeking to reconnect with their ancestral roots. The Igbo's claim, along with other similar movements across Africa, suggests that more groups may emerge, each holding a piece of the puzzle regarding the lost tribes. This phenomenon contributes to the larger narrative of uncovering Israel's scattered exiles and raises the possibility that many more such communities may surface in the future. Finally, the Lemba people of Zimbabwe and South Africa also claim descent from the tribe of Levi. Their oral tradition speaks of ancestors who migrated from the Middle East to Africa centuries ago. The Lemba's customs, including circumcision, kosher-like dietary laws, and the observance of the Sabbath, have drawn the attention of scholars for years. Recent DNA tests have added weight to their claims, further fueling interest in their connection to the ancient Israelites. As these various groups claim their ancestral ties to the lost tribes, the larger story of Israel's regathering continues to unfold, echoing the ancient prophecies and suggesting that the mysteries of the lost tribes may still be revealed in the coming days. The return of these communities to Israel and the recognition of their ancient Jewish roots continues to resonate as a powerful testament to the enduring faithfulness of God's promises. A significant portion of the Lemba population carries the Cohen modal haplotype, a genetic marker strongly associated with the priestly lineage of Aaron, further solidifying the belief that they are descendants of the tribe of Levi. This discovery is particularly fascinating because it suggests that the priestly line, one of the most sacred elements of the ancient Israelite community, has endured and maintained its presence in some of the most unexpected corners of the world. Their story is not just one of survival, but also of spiritual and physical return, which may very well be a part of the prophetic regathering of Israel in the last days. The Bible makes it abundantly clear that the lost tribes are not forgotten by God. In fact, their eventual return is central to the prophecies regarding the end times, and many believe that we are witnessing the early stages of this restoration. Ezekiel 37 offers one of the most vivid descriptions of their return in the Valley of Dry Bones prophecy. God promises to breathe life into the scattered tribes, bringing them back together with Judah. I will make them one nation in the land, on the mountains of Israel. There will be one king over all of them, and they will never again be two nations or be divided into two kingdoms. Ezekiel 37:22. This prophecy foretells a time when the lost tribes will be reunited with the southern kingdom of Judah, forming a unified Israel under the Messiah. This is a pivotal moment in God's unfolding plan for the end times. Similarly, Isaiah 11:12 speaks of a second regathering of Israel, where God will reach out once again to reclaim his people from the four corners of the earth. He will raise a banner for the nations and gather the exiles of Israel. He will assemble the scattered people of Judah from the four quarters of the earth. This passage does not solely refer to the return from Babylonian exile. It points to a far grander event, a global regathering that includes the lost tribes of the northern kingdom. Many believe this prophecy is already partially fulfilled in the return of groups such as the Beta Israel, Ethiopian Jews, and Bene Israel, Indian Jews, and that the ultimate fulfillment will come with the regathering of all 12 tribes to their ancient homeland. Revelation 7 also reaffirms the presence of the 12 tribes in God's final plan, when 144,000 individuals, 12,000 from each tribe, are sealed for protection during the Great Tribulation. Then I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. Revelation 7:4. This passage reinforces the idea that even the lost tribes will have an essential role in the final days of humanity's history. The return of the lost tribes is not merely an intriguing historical puzzle. It is a crucial part of biblical prophecy that will culminate in the Messianic age. According to the Bible, these tribes will be restored, reunited with Judah, and play a pivotal role in the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. This regathering is not a human effort, but a divine act of God, a powerful sign that the final days are drawing near. As more groups continue to emerge, each claiming descent from the lost tribes, the world watches closely for the fulfillment of these ancient prophecies. The reappearance of these communities is a clear reminder that God's promises remain steadfast and true, and that the return of the Messiah is imminent. The story of the 10 lost tribes of Israel is not yet over. While their fate remained uncertain for centuries, the Bible assures us that God has not forgotten his people. Through groups like the Beta Israel of Ethiopia, the Bene Israel of India, and the Pashtuns of Afghanistan, we are witnessing the early stages of their return. As prophesied in Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Revelation, these tribes will play a central role in the end times, when they will be gathered from the ends of the earth and reunited with the tribes of Judah under the reign of the Messiah. As we move closer to the fulfillment of these prophecies, the return of the lost tribes serves as a powerful reminder that God's ultimate plan for Israel and for the world is unfolding right before our eyes. If this deep dive into the 12 tribes of Israel and their prophetic role in the end times has captivated you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video from Deep Bible Stories. Here, we explore how ancient prophecies are shaping the world we live in today.